his organization. Another danger we need to avoid is that of thinking that the book of Revelation can be put on a cart. Although I myself have a chart, sorry. Oops. Put on a chart. In other words, I hate to tell you, Sister Baker, about the chart you gave me, and you can't put Revelations on a chart, according to Jay Vernon. Although I myself have a chart and have used it in teaching, I will not be using it in this study. The reason is that if it includes all it should, it is so complicated that nobody will understand it. On the other hand, it is if it is so brief that it can be understood, it doesn't give enough information. I have several charts sent to me by uh, uh, different men in whom I have great confidence. One of them is so complicated that I need a chart to understand his chart. So, although I won't be using a chart, I will use a brief sketch below to attempt to simplify the different stages in the revelations. I have also given the overall picture. Now, here, there is a chart here. I will look at it. It starts off at the cross and it goes up to chapter 1, comes down to the churches in chapters 2 and 3, goes back up in chapters 4 and 5 to the Great Tribulation, back down in chapter 19 to the 1,000-year millennial. The great, and then underscoring the whole thing, he has the Great Tribulation is in chapter 16 through 18. The 1,000-year reign is in chapter 20. Goes up to the Great White Throne Judgment, and then you have eternity in chapters 21 through 22. But the interesting thing here, well, Daryl has written here, let's see what he says here. The cross of Christ and his ascension. Okay, so that's what we have there. He actually picks up, like I said, it must have been in the wrong place or something, and on the radio program, and decided it fit better here. But he has the 10 subjects of prophecy. We did that section a few sections ago, but he has the second part of it here, and so in the book, he moved it from the radio program to here. As you can see, it begins with the cross of Christ and his ascension. So that's where Daryl wrote that up there so that he wouldn't have to pull that out down here. In chapter 1, we see the glorified Christ. In chapters 2 and 3, we see the church, and so I went over that. In chapters 4 and 5, we see that the church is in heaven. Then on earth, the Great Tribulation takes place, chapters 6 through 18. In chapter 19, we see Christ returns to the earth and establishes kingdom, and chapters 20 gives us the 1,000-year reign of Christ. Then the great white throne is set up and the place where the lost are judged. And in chapters 21 and 22, eternity begins. That is the book of Revelations. Stuffer has made an important observation, and he quotes him here. Domitian was also the first emperor to wage a proper campaign against Christ, and the church answered the attack under the leadership of Christ's last apostle, John of the Apocalypse. Nero had Paul and Peter destroyed, but he took upon them as seditious Jews. Domitian was the first emperor to understand that behind the Christian movement there stood an enigmatic figure who threatened the glory of the emperor. He was the first to declare war on this figure and the first also to lose the war, a foretaste of things to come. Now, that concludes